Today, forget about luck. Forget about that one in a million light bulb moment. We're going to break down the actual blueprints for building extreme wealth, and we're doing it by analyzing the world's black billionaires. Let's dig in. So you got to ask yourself, how does it actually happen? How do you build a fortune that massive? The answer isn't just winning the lottery. It's way more strategic, way more deliberate. It's engineered. And that's the absolute key to this whole thing. It's not one single path to the top. It's a set of distinct, repeatable blueprints. Think of them as archetypes for creating wealth, and we're about to deconstruct every single one. Okay, let's start at the ground floor. Literally. Part 1 is all about building the physical world. We're talking about the masters of the tangible stuff, the essential assets that a country just can't function without. This is the world of the industrial king, like Aliko Dangote. You're not building a cool new app. Nope. You're building with cement, steel, oil. This is brutal, capital-intensive work. You don't get applause for it. What you get is something way more powerful: leverage over entire economies. Then you've got the resource master, like Patrice Motsepe. This path is all about digging wealth straight out of the earth. We're talking gold, platinum, energy. And let me tell you, it's a high-risk game of politics and contested land. This isn't clean, shiny wealth. It's heavy. But the scale is absolutely immense. And that brings us to the telecom builder, the playbook of someone like Mike Edenuga. See, before we had apps for everything, there was just the signal. These are the people who laid the physical networks that connect millions. Every call, every text, it all passes through something they own. Their power is invisible, but once a society relies on it, it's pretty much permanent. The secret sauce behind all these physical titans is a simple but powerful concept: choke points. They aren't selling you a product you might like. They sell you access you absolutely need. When you control a critical port, or a network, or a key supply line, you control the entire system that has to flow through it. All right, we've covered concrete and steel. Now let's make the shift from the physical world into the digital one. Part 2 is all about architecting the new age, where the titans control code, capital, and the flow of information itself. This quote pretty much says it all. Capitalism with the emotion removed. And that perfectly defines the tech capital allocator. This is the path of someone like Robert F. Smith. He's not trying to build the next trendy app. He buys boring but essential enterprise software companies. You know, the kind a Fortune 500 company can't live without. And then he just optimizes them to death. And this really shows you the stark difference. On one side, you have the tech founder, like Tope Awatona of Calendly. It's a brutal, high-stress path where every single bug is your fault. And on the other side, you have the allocator. They operate from the boardroom, buying established cash flow and stripping out inefficiencies. One is about the product, the other is about pure finance. And then there's the data strategist, like Alex Karp from Palantir. They don't sell to you or me. They sell clarity to power, to governments and intelligence agencies. Their software gets so deeply embedded in how these places make decisions that ripping it out would be, well, operational suicide. This is being right next to power itself. So our third blueprint moves away from infrastructure and code into something that might be even more powerful: culture. This part is all about converting sheer attention and belief into actual equity. This quote, "Ownership is sovereign," gets right to the heart of it. For the media architect, people like Oprah or Tyler Perry, this is the guiding principle. They realize that being cast in a show means you're still asking for permission. The real power, that comes from owning the studio, owning the distribution, owning the land it's all built on. When you do that, you stop asking for permission. You just manufacture your own reality. So how's it done? Well, this is the brand idol's playbook, and it's been perfected by people like Rihanna and Jay-Z. The music or the art isn't the final destination, it's the front door. Once you have that deep audience trust, you pivot. You redirect their focus from just consuming your art to buying your products. You're literally converting cultural loyalty directly into power on a balance sheet. And you see this exact same critical shift with the athlete investor. Figures like Michael Jordan and LeBron James understood that a salary is temporary, but ownership is generational. So they moved on from just collecting paychecks and endorsements to demanding licensing deals and equity stakes. They built wealth that's going to outlive their careers by a long, long time. So we've looked at all these blueprints: the industrial king, the tech allocator, the brand idol, but the final revelation, the really big question, is understanding why. Why do these specific paths even exist in the first place?
The common thread that ties all of them together is one word: control. Control of production, of infrastructure, of distribution, narrative, and capital. You see, these paths aren't accidental. They are very deliberate responses to economic systems where access to capital and credit was never a given. You don't gamble when the downside is everything. You secure choke points. Now, the combined wealth of all the Black billionaires that we've analyzed comes out to around $90 billion. That is a massive, almost unimaginable number. But I want you to hold that figure in your mind for just a second.
Because that number only tells half the story. The full context, that's what's staggering. That entire $90 billion is dwarfed by the wealth of just single tech founders from other backgrounds. And this isn't about individual achievement, it's about the sheer scale of how wealth gets to compound.
And this brings us right to the core thesis of the whole analysis. This massive difference in scale, it's not a talent gap. It is a systems gap. The systems that are in place, access to networks, to capital, to legal protections, that's what ultimately determines who gets to compound wealth and at what speed.
Which leaves us with this one powerful concluding thought. The fortunes we've examined, the blueprints we've mapped out, none of them are accidents. They're the result of deliberate design and strategic execution. Power isn't random, it's engineered.
So we'll just leave you with this to think about. Now that you know the routes, what do you see differently?